sweet mystery of life. Life is not what you think or have been taught. Life, real, happy, loving life is simple. If you know the rules, rules. What rules? Whose rules? Dear people, all creation has rules. Rules embedded in our DNA. Humans, the highest of creation. We're also given life rules, but those rules have been hidden, covered up, so you have to listen to them. Is that working for you? Are you happy? Do you have deep love in your life? Do you desire peace and prosperity? You can have all. All will be revealed to you. All life is simple if. Shadtori High.
Copyright C 2022. Max Wells, all rights reserved. The characters and events portrayed in this book are fictitious. Any similarity to real persons, living or dead, is coincidental and not intended by the author. No part of this book may be reproduced or stored in a retrieval system or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, photocopying, recording, or otherwise, without express written permission of the publisher. ISBN 13-979-41-51583, ISBN 10-1497-123456. Cover design by Daniel I. Maxwell. Library of Congress Control Number 2018-675309. Printed in the United States of America.
Doors of the Short Story by Max Wells.
I was in my third year of studies at USC, University of Southern California, School of Dramatic Arts, seeking my BFA in acting for stage and screen, when I met her. Ella was a transfer student from Oxford in England. She is a very attractive girl in a classic manner, not like the sexy starlet type some of the female students try to appear, more a young lady you might see in town and country. Not certain what it was, but I felt compelled to know her. Springtime in Los Angeles is about the only pleasant time of the year here. The weather is mild, the sky clear, the trees and flower gardens surrounding USC in bloom, yet only a few streets away, and an area is not one walks alone at night. Friday afternoon, our last class of the week was over at 2:30. I approached Ella and formally introduced myself. Hello, Ella. My name is Charles Wilde. I understand you came from Oxford. I am fascinated why someone would want to leave Oxford for USC. There is a nice shop nearby that serves superb teas. I would love to have you join me for tea and interesting conversation. Will you please?
Delighted, Charles. I am Stewart, Ella Stewart. I trust you are not as your surname implies.
Wild? No, not wild. Perhaps a bit rebellious, which seems normal as we are growing up, yet still under the authority of parents. Here is the shop, Dulcie. I have not been here, but I was told it is quiet where one can actually talk.
This is lovely, Ella said, as we both ordered Darjeeling tea and a piece of cake. Not sure of the cake, but it had a mound of white, fluffy whipped cream with raspberries atop, perfectly paired with the tea. Charles, you said under the authority of your parents. What do you mean? Are you not an adult over the age of majority?
Of course, however, if the parents still provide for you, then you have an obligation to follow or attempt to follow their requests. Recall the words of Confucius, I believe. He who has the gold makes the laws. I enjoy the freedom to do as I please as long as it does not harm the family. When I graduate, all that financial support will cease. How about you? Don't your parents provide your education?
They certainly would if I asked, however I never asked. My grandfather left me an endowment. I have my agents administer those funds. The earnings provide me sufficient to cover all my needs. The school is on scholarship, so my needs are small.
Very well, Princess Ella. So why USC? What do you seek here you could not find at Oxford?
Fair question. I really have no definitive answer for that. I recall the words in scriptures. Seek and ye shall find, so I seek. In England, families of means have a much more ridged social structure, particularly for young ladies. I suppose I wanted to have more personal freedom to make my own choices. Most of all, I wished to learn the purpose of life.
Is that not the purpose? To find it, then do it?
Perhaps. I have never heard it stated so simply, but that makes sense. What about you? Have you found it?
Unfortunately, no. In fact, I have not begun to seek. In my adult years, of which there are few, I have only concerned myself with trying to hone my skills in the arts. I come not from a landed family, but a family of artists, performing arts, writing, music, and the such. I suppose I only desire to prove myself equal or superior. I have left philosophy on the bottom shelf.
Without a philosophy, there is no humanity. It is only our philosophy that separates us from the animals. A dog trained to hunt is only a hunting dog. A horse trained to race is only a racehorse. A person trained to act is only an actor. To be human is to care, to seek, to reason, to love, to grow. Now I have discovered my reason for being here, to grow, thank you. See, it is by talking, by thinking, by questions, we both grow.
Dear Ella, you have captivated my mind and my heart. What do you do when not in school or seeking answers? You mentioned horses. We, my family, have horses on the property, and I have neglected them. Do you ride?
Charles, I was raised on the hunt. Grandfather has an old estate near Shrewsbury. That is the heart of the hunt country. I was riding first flight hunters at age 7. I love and miss those delightful times. What kind of horses do you have, and where do you ride?
The house is in Flintridge, next to Pasadena, only 40 minutes from here depending on time of day and traffic. The horse trails cover miles all through the community, the surrounding mountains and foothills. We even have flowing streams to lay by and water the horses. Mother would love to meet you and show you off to all Pasadena. Her family are Brits and my father is Scot. Are you free this weekend?
No, Charles. I have a dinner engagement tonight, and tomorrow a friend is taking me to visit her family in Santa Barbara. Perhaps next weekend, if you will be available. It sounds like fun. Thank you for asking. Is your house large? It must be grand to have horses on the property.
Kind of. The house is situated on some 6 acres. The house is almost 10,000 square feet. If you could stay over, you would have 4 rooms upstairs. I do not stay in the main house, but use the gatehouse. There I can come and go without bothering family or staff. Ella, thank you for this time. It has been special. Have fun in Santa Barbara. I look forward to seeing you Monday. Please take my phone number. If you need anything or just want to talk, I am here for you. We walked back to the apartment she shares with another Brit, not in the fine arts program, but in the School of Journalism. We stopped at her door. She looked deeply into my eyes, then kissed me lightly on the lips.
You are a fine person, and I respect you, she said, with her hand lingering on mine.
Touch. What does it convey? This is the first time I had ever posed such a question. We meet new people and shake hands. Why? To touch, and perhaps to learn something about them. We greet friends, male friends with a hug and pat on the back. Females that we know and like, we hug and kiss on the cheek. Those touches are spontaneous and short. What does it convey when the touch lingers? You desire more and cannot express it. Why cannot we say what we desire and be honest, be forthright? I do not know. Perhaps that is what Ella said is to be human, to be able to express our feelings, not suppress them. That question is beyond my present understanding. I do know. I am in a turmoil. Ella is inside my mind. She is making it impossible to see through the haze before me. How can 2 short hours change the plans I have for my life? That question I will tuck away in that corner of my mind I allow none to see. For now, I must drive home to reality, or what I perceive as reality. At least it is comfortable. A blur, looking back, all I saw or recall was nothing. Just a blank. Those entire 2 days and nights. All that was in my mind was her touch, and the manner she had lingered on my hand as we gazed in the eyes of the other. I do not recall any time when I desired Monday, but this Sunday Eve, I lay in my bed begging for the night to end. And it did, but not as I desired. I departed Flintridge at 6:35 a.m. planning on breakfast in the dining hall, and being in my first class before 8:30. Plans, we make them, but others determine them. The traffic entering downtown LA was horrific as usual. All I could do was plug ahead 1 car length at a time. By the time I had passed 8th Street, I was incoherent, screaming at the cars, and not a car answered. I will not see Ella. She will be in some strange class. After exiting the freeway at Washington Boulevard just to get off the shifting parking lot, then turning right on Figueroa, only then did my heart cease its pounding on the drum of my chest. It is now after 8:17 a.m. I will be late and miss her. Miss her I did. Not only that, but by the time I found a place to park, I was late to my lecture on the integration of technical aspects of directing. The letter I must complete is the final needed for this course. My only other lecture today is on a course I know Ella also takes, theater on film. I arrived early hoping to speak to Ella before the lecture began, to no avail. The professor is at his desk, speaking to a rather ruddy-looking man who seemed to be looking out at the class. I looked around, seeing there were only 7 or 8 others here this early. Who is he looking at her for? I sat shuffling through notes on the subject. The professor always asks questions, and he delights in asking me some every week, hoping to have me stumble before the class. I am prepared for his game. He has never stumped me yet. That fact seems to perturb him, so he is determined to ask even more unrelated questions. It does not bother me. He throws down the gauntlet. I accept the challenge. Makes the class more lively. I watched as he strode towards the lectern wearing that Cheshire cat grin he always opens Monday with. Just as he was about to make his opening remarks, that we all knew beforehand, the doors loudly bashed open, and a group of 6 boisterous students scrambled to be seated. Ella was one of those. She had to climb over 2 others to take a seat next to me. She smiled, saying hi. Professor, looking rather perturbed, began, "Glad you could make it." Then for the following 40 minutes he reviewed every detail on a subject most of us by now had a good understanding of. I took the perfunctory notes as he spoke. I noticed the visitor glancing at his watch, most likely as bored as I was. Professor tapped his pen on the side of the lectern for silence, then said, "Students, rather than take questions today, we have a guest I would like you to meet. His name is Arden Wickersham. Mr. Wickersham comes to us from Hollywood via Oxford, where his film Eye of the Storm was awarded Best Film at the Oxford Film Festival. He is currently in production on a new short film and comes seeking talent. I have reviewed with him each of your work, and there are 2 students he wishes to speak to. Mr. Wilde and Miss Stewart. Since you both have no further class today, will you please stay a while and talk? All others are free to leave. Term papers are due on the 20th.
My dear friends, I trust we will be soon. May I suggest that rather than talk in this mundane space, we go enjoy some fine tea and good conversation. There is a spot nearby called Dulce, quite enjoyable. You both excite my mind, will you join me? Wickersham asked.
Mr. Wickersham, I saw your film at Oxford. That was 2 years ago. I loved it. Yes, we would be delighted to join you.
My car is around the corner. Or shall we walk? It is lovely out now.
Walk, please. I've been cramped up in an auto for the last 5 hours. I love to walk. What is the film you are producing about?
My dear, that we will discuss over tea and cakes.
We entered Dulce and the same server who had helped us. Was it only last week? Seems like a lifetime ago. Came saying my friends, Darjeeling tea and raspberry cake, and you, sir, English breakfast tea with lemon squares?
Oh my word, yes, Ella said. Now I recall you were sitting in that corner when we were here last week, I am certain.
Amazing coincidence, but yes, you are correct. Now I recall, you were both so animated, engrossed with each other. It was difficult not to be engaged. Then as strangers, now as friends, how magnificent is our God.
Mr. Wickersham, may we suspend the formality? I am Charles. This is Ella. You are Arden. I do not believe in coincidence, but facts. Why are we here?
Dear Charles, is that not the question Ella asked of you, and you attempted to answer? Why are we here? My new film, Doors, delves into that very question. We have no answers, but as Ella so properly stated, seek, and you shall find. When I heard you both discussing what I seek, I was compelled to see who you are. What I discovered both thrilled and frightened me. I never believed in destiny. Doors can be more than portals we enter. Think about this. A few days ago, you formally met Ella. You brought her here to Dulce, yet you nor she had never been here. Why? That same day, I was to have a meeting with your professor and decided to enjoy a respite before that meeting. I came here. Again, I had never been to Dulce, nor had even heard of it. I was passing by and something beckoned me inside. I overheard your conversation and was enthralled. That led me to your school to inquire. I find your name Wilde, a name very prominent at Oxford, even more strange. My family name Wickersham has a cross with the Wilde family. We are somewhat related. Now it gets stranger. This beautiful, talented child, Ella, is from Oxford. Her family, the House of Stuart, is prominent at Oxford. One of her relatives is the master of the theological department. If this is all not predetermined, I say impossible. I want you both to be the lead couple in my film. We can meet with my finance people and agree on your compensation. Will you do this? Will you at least come, look over the sets which are being constructed as we speak, read the script, then decide? How about May 15th, your term is over? Here is my card. Come to the Paramount Studios on Melrose, show this card to the guard, and you will be escorted to stage 14, door C. If you can be there at 1:15 p.m., it will be perfect. Can we agree?
How long is the shooting going to be? Is it all filmed at the studio? Will we first need to get our SAG cards?
Charles, all will be answered on the 15th. I promise you both that you will be very pleased. May I have your agreement, or I will not be able to sleep?
Yes, of course, we will be delighted.
Well, there you have it.
I am going to fly back to the studio. You have made me the happiest man. If you have any questions, call me anytime.
My darling leading man, are you going to take me to an absolutely splendid place for dinner? We have much to discuss.
Dear Ella, my apartment is rather nice, however I do not cook, do you?
Do not tease, you know what I mean. Where we can talk, be around charming people, yet be alone. Pick me up at 6:45 and be dashing, my prince.